Welcome to Section 4 of Unit 2. The title is Pedagogical Implications of Integration in Social Studies. Objectives. There are 4 objectives we have set up. Objective 1. Explain how to select any given content for social studies teaching. 2. Identify at least 2 learning activities that ought to be promoted when teaching the subject. Objective 3. Identify at least 3 different teaching resources for social studies. Objective 4. State the need for field trips in social studies teaching and learning. The social studies, being an integrated subject, has implications for what we teach as teachers. It imposes a certain processes, requirements, and activities that must be undertaken. 1. What should be the content of social studies being an integrated subject? 1. It says the content that we select for teaching and learning purposes as far as social studies is concerned must be that cut across discipline. It cuts across discipline. It means that the content that we select should not be limited to only one discipline. If it is necessary that we borrow knowledge from sociology, history, geography, and the rest, we must do that. So how can we make sure that the content we have selected it cut across subject? So it is done through putting them into themes. We put the content that we select into what? For example, the content like the school community, our local community, the national community, our continent, and others like citizenship and cooperation. These themes demands that we use concepts, facts, skills, and values from different disciplines. Let me give you a typical example. In teaching about the school community, you teach about where the school is located. You need geographical concepts. You talk about when the school was established. You need some historical information. You talk about the relationship between the staff, that is the head teacher in the school, the teachers in the school, the learners or the students in the school. What is the nature of the relationship between them? This is what sociological issue. So have you seen in teaching the theme, the school communities, you don't need to make good use of ideas or concepts of far from one discipline. Learning activities. So the implication of social studies as an integrated subject is that whatever learning activities we want the student to carry out, we have to consider and lay emphasis on the development of skills in collecting information, skills in creating knowledge from the data collected, and using the knowledge to explain social issues and be able to solve problems. So another pedagogical implication as far as learning activities is concerned is what exploration as a learning experience can be either practical or verbal. So the student can be engaged in practical activities such as turning, lifting, weighing, calculating, measuring, breaking, tearing, and subjecting objects to several other treatments like burning, immersing, and grinding. So the verbal activities that can take place in the classroom can take the form of asking series of questions which can begin with what, which, why, and how. The next point we have to consider as far as learning activities is concerned is that we should ensure that learning activities enable the student to collect information within their immediate and the wider environment. We should encourage learners to collect information in their immediate and the wider environment. Depending upon the topic we are teaching, let's encourage learners to explore their environment and even beyond the immediate environment. So in terms of organization, we have looked at three types of integration. So if you are organizing the content and is based on interdisciplinary, it simply means that you have to handle the task alone. That is, if you are teaching integrated subjects like social studies, integrated science, sometimes it's only one teacher who handles these subjects. You have to plan, or you need to plan in a way that you can make good use of the concept, skills, and the knowledge. However, if it is a multidisciplinary kind of curriculum, then it means that you must collaborate with other teachers. You must collaborate with other teachers in order to plan the timetable so that whilst one person is teaching a particular similar topic will also be taught by another teacher around the same time. When this is done, it will enhance understanding of the concept. Again, when the approach is multidisciplinary, it means that a lot of teachers are to be involved in the preparation or in the organization of the timetable. It can also mean that when we are drawing the timetable, there is a need to become a bit what flexible. You make room for flexibility. You make room for flexibility because there are a lot of teachers who are involved. There are a lot of teachers who are involved in the teaching of particular uh, concept. So the teaching may eat into somebody's time, which will have to be accommodated. That is why the flexibility issue is very important. So what is the integration means for teaching resources? What are the implication? What is the implication as far as um, teaching resources is concerned? The integrated nature of social studies demands for the use of different resources. According to Rousseau, resources can be reading materials such as books, supplementary readers, reference books, source books, newspapers, and magazines. We can also have community resources such as places of civic, cultural, economic, geographical, historical, and scientific interest. We can have materials made by the teacher such as the sketch maps, plans, graphs, models, charts, and symbols. And also, there can be materials that are made by students. Students can also sketch maps, plans, draw graphs, models, charts, and symbols. We can also have activity-based materials or resources that can take the form of storytelling. So if you organize storytelling, it's also an activity or a resource that you can employ or deploy to enhance your teaching. So have a look at the pedagogical implication of integrated integration in social studies. Let's assess ourselves by answering the following questions. 1. A suitable illustration explain how you organize or select any given content to teach social studies. 2. State 2 learning activities you promote in the teaching and learning of social studies. 3. Identify 3 different teaching resources for social studies. 4. Explain why field trips are important in the teaching and learning of social studies. I hope you have enjoyed this session. If you don't understand everything that we have talked about, not worry. During the face-to-face session, you can bring some of misconceptions so that you and your colleagues, as well as the course facilitators, can discuss them. Thank you.